Hola Masala, welcome back. This is Ashwin and Louisa. We are an intercultural couple from India and Colombia. In our last video, we saw a telenovela from Colombia that you've watched throughout the years, you've grown up with it, and we were talking about what it teaches about love, and it's none other than Pasión de Gavilanes. So, yes, that was a Colombian telenovela, and today we are going to talk about Tamil movies. If you're wondering what Tamil is, it's the language from Tamil Nadu, the place where I am from. Of course, India has so many languages, and this is just one, but Tamil Nadu is huge for cinemas, for movies, and we have movies releasing all year round. So, in particular, today we are going to talk about three Tamil movies that are all classics from this century, and all three of them have slightly differing messages, so it just makes it easier for us to cover the different aspects of love that these movies show.
We are married for almost 2 years now, so I learned how important this topic and how important cinema is in the lives of Tamil people. Actually, there are around 70 million people, right?
Yep.
70 million people living in the Tamil Nadu area. That's even more people than my whole country. So imagine that. It's a whole region in one country. You have your own idiosyncrasy. I don't know how to say it well. Your own mindset and cosmovision. And that includes the traditions and how you have a lifestyle, which obviously has a lot to do with movies and cinema, because you call it Hollywood.
Yes.
Hollywood, if I'm not wrong, yes. Normally in Colombia, I knew about Bollywood, which is from Mumbai, or at the time, Bombay. But after that, I didn't know anything else. I didn't know that every state has their own names for Hollywood. And
Yeah, for the movies.
yes, for example, in Telugu, you have
Tollywood.
Tollywood, Mollywood.
Mollywood in Malayalam, yes. So many different things like that. And Bollywood is just movies made in Hindi. And of course, like there's more Hindi speakers than any other language in the country. So that's the most famous, and that's the type of movies that's celebrated all over India by Indians and a few other people as well.
Of course, of course. To answer your question, I would say that my favorite Tamil movie is Super Deluxe. That was maybe the first one or one of the first movies I watched. It was very absurd and funny, and I never thought that I was going to watch an Indian movie having such topics. So it was an eye-opening.
Yeah, it was an anthology, like very modern, forward-thinking, had crazy stories in it that you don't typically see in a normal movie, right? So, of course, I chose that because obviously I love the movie. And also, I just thought that you would also love it. And that was the case. So, I did a good job.
Yes, you did. Absolutely, you did.
But we're not going to talk about that movie today because that's not just about love. It has a lot of differing elements. So, today we're only going to talk about romantic movies.
Okay.
So, getting right into it, the first movie is Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa, released in 2010, around that time.
Okay.
So this movie is kind of the typical movie, despite releasing kind of in recent times, but still, the story, the essence of what happens in the movie is a very, very relevant thing, especially in the past. So it has two people, a man and a woman, falling in love deeply with each other, and despite all the love that they have for each other, all the care that they have for each other, they just don't work out. And can you guess why?
The family.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a very easy guess because now you know a lot about India and how love works here, and at least how it used to work and still does in a grander scale as well. So why family? What specifically?
It can be many things. It can be because of different castes. It can be just because of the concept of love, if the family is not accepting of the concept of love. I mean, we are very lucky in our terms because your family was always accepting and open to even know me and to allow me to be part of your family. So in that case, we are very lucky. But I know that's not the story for many other people, not just foreigners, but Indians, between Indians.
Yeah, you don't even have to be from a different religion. For example,
Exactly.
you can both be Hindus, but from different castes. And unfortunately, it's just so hard for me to even talk about it in this day and age. But still, honor killings happen where
That's not
people-
honor. Excuse me, but
Absolutely
I'm going
not.
to be very clear. There's nothing honorable of killing.
absolutely nothing.
And we cannot say that word. We'll have to pee it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole topic in itself. But the idea is that, let's say that I am from a high caste and then she is from a low caste, or if I am from a low caste and she's from a high caste, her family will like come after me to literally kill me. So
You cannot say that word in YouTube.
that's okay. Like maybe you can just edit it out and beep it out, but still, like I mean, that's the truth, right? Even if we beep it out, you know what happens. You can literally search for it online. So yeah, it's a crazy topic. It's a separate video in itself, but yeah, that's like the extreme case of why love won't work out because of families. But this movie is not so like deep. Not, I mean,
Okay.
it is very deep, but it's not so extreme in that sense.
Because you have shown me movies that are very traumatizing before.
Oh yeah. I've shown her movies that exactly represents what we were talking about a few seconds ago. But anyway, Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa. This movie, the couple separates because the girl, she doesn't want to continue. She doesn't want to go against her family, her culture, blah 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 blah. But I mean, of course, I'm saying blah blah blah. But it's a very serious thing. People take care of. I mean, people look at their families, their cultures, their traditions, and take it very seriously. So I'm not like mocking them or anything, but this is just the unfortunate scenario. And in this movie, that's the reason why, despite all the love, care, and affection they have for each other, they separate. So, what do you think about that?
It's very hard to judge it as a foreigner because my mindset is very different. For example, I love you and I know my parents accept you, my whole family accepts you. But if we don't work out, I can come back to my family and they will still support me. If we make a mistake as a couple, they will accept us no matter what. And I know that's a privilege many Indians don't have, especially women.
Yep, absolutely. It's just that there's so much pressure, and if a marriage doesn't work out, they just try and try and try again to force it out, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's incredibly hard, but yeah, you're right. It's very different looking at it from a different set of eyes, from the eyes of someone who's not born here, who's not grown or brought up in this country. So it's very very interesting. But
I do have a remark, and I will compare myself now with my previous self because that old Luisa, who didn't know the culture and who wasn't into it, I used to be very judgmental.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Even if I was in your place, I would be judging so hard at all these things as well, because it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, I love you. A man loves a man, a man loves a woman, and as long as there's love, there's
Respect.
very important. You just be together, live together. It doesn't matter if you're married, blah blah blah, not. But yeah, it's very simple. But unfortunately, it is not in India. So yeah, that's this whole movie about Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa. Like, it's such a beautiful movie. Beautiful. Well, yeah, I mean,
We have different perspectives of what beauty looks like. Okay.
yes. I mean, still, I've grown up watching this movie and other such movies, and like before meeting you or before going out of the country or before having a wider worldview, this is what we knew, right? This is what we thought love was. So, and the way they show the emotions, the characters, and it's just, I don't know, you just fall in love with it despite, all the reasons not to. So yeah, that's the first movie. Going to the second one, slightly older,
Okay.
and also a classic as well, Alaipayuthey. And it's a movie that I think probably every single person has seen in this state at least, because it's firstly the songs are
Okay. Do I know any
super
song?
hit. I think so. Let's look.
Pause.
If you're wondering why we're talking about songs in a movie, well, Indian movies have a million songs in it, and each song can last 4 to 5 minutes. An elaborate dance sequence or some sort of sequence, but it's very important in Indian movies, not just Tamil movies, but in Indian movies, songs, music, dance, it's very important.
That's also very important for people who are not accustomed to watching Indian movies and the music industry in India. Because, for example, for me in Colombia, I listen to the single of Juanes. I listen to the single of Shakira. They release a song and then they release an album, and you listen to the album and you know who is the singer, and that's all. But here you like the music because it is good within a movie.
People literally go to watch movies just because they liked 1 or 2 songs from the movie, and like it's 2.5 hour movie, and they just wait for those 5-10 minutes in the whole movie, and just they see those songs, the dances, and they're like, I'm happy.
And
That's
I
what
do
they
have a
feel.
question. What's more important, the movie or the names of the singers behind the movie?
Of course, it's a very hard question. I don't think any one thing precedes another, but if we're talking about importance, I think it's all about the main protagonist, the actor. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
if it's a famous actor, everyone's going to go to the movie. Even after hearing bad comments about it, they just like, it's fine. They said it's bad, but I still want to go and see in the big screen. So I think that's probably why the movie industry is such a big part of our lives, and there's like cinemas everywhere. It's cheap. It's cheap compared to watching movies in Colombia.
So cheap.
And there's just so many new movies releasing week after week after week. So yeah, people, it's a big part of our lives. It's a big entertainment for us. So basically every weekend or every other weekend, it's one of the things other than visiting the beach, because this is a coastal city. So going to the beach or going to the mall to watch a movie is 2 very common things that people from my city do.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Anyway, so what happens in this movie? It's 2 young people falling in love crazily over each other. And in this case, they also get married. So
Okay.
good thing. Good thing. Unlike the other movie where they don't end up together. In this movie, they get married. And until that point, everything is amazing. It's just passionate love. And they can do anything for each other. They get married. What now? What do you think happens now?
I don't know. They don't have kids. If you don't have kids, that's a huge issue.
It is a huge issue, but no. Okay, that's not the issue here. But the thing is, these 2 people, they are very young, just got recently married. One of them, the man, goes out to work. The woman stays at home. It's just a very different dynamic from the time they were in love with each other. They lived in different places. They just like long to meet each other. But now they live in the same roof. They see each other every single day, but it's not the same.
They get bored.
More than bored, it's like getting disappeared into your routines. The man goes to work, The whole day comes back home all tired and he just cannot like give more. And the wife is just staying at home, taking care of the house, making the house, and she's waiting for the man to come home. And when he's actually there, she expects something to happen, but he's tired. And it's like
Okay.
the age-old tale.
Uh-huh.
They're also very young, mind
Okay.
that. So they just don't know how to make it work because they just thought that love alone is enough and that they can cross their lives with just that love. But life changes, you get married, different seasons of life come, different responsibilities come, different roles take place. So it's all about working together. It's not just love. Love alone is not enough, just like we've talked about in previous episodes. You need to work together. And like I think if there's one thing you learn from this movie, it's love is beautiful, but marriage is work. And I know that when people hear that, it's very hard. They say, no, it's not work. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It just happens easily. No, come on. Everything in life is like happens because of hard work and effort and commitment, love, affection, care, all of it together. It has to be a full package, not just two or three things.
Okay.
So that's why they have issues in this movie. What do you think about that? Do you agree?
I think that's an universal issue for all couples because we in Spanish have stages of love. For example, when we say te quiero, te adoro, te amo, right? We don't have translation for that in
They all mean I love you, but it's just it was very hard
stages.
for me in the beginning to understand, but now I understand. Yes.
Absolutely, because it's stages. You go from I'm interested to te quiero, which is like I like you. Okay, me gustas, I like you. Then te quiero, it's an I love you, but it's a friendship I love you. But then te amo. Te amo is a type of I love you that it comes from the deepest part of you. English is very limited in that sense, but in Spanish we also have the stages of a relationship. We call it enamoramiento, right? And then we have amor. Both are love in English. But in this first stage, enamoramiento stage, everything is emotional, so passionate, and you feel you can eat the world. But that's not enough because the enamoramiento stage ends.
Oh, is it like the honeymoon
Honeymoon
period?
phase.
Yeah.
Honeymoon phase, it ends, and then you have to actually face the other person, the individual with its flaws. Then you have to face yourself because you are also a flawed human, and you have to live with it. And you have to live with an environment that is not easy. When we adult, it's not. I mean, it can be easy. It all depends on your opportunities and abilities, but you have to be able to manage life while keeping your marriage because it's a very deep commitment you do.
And of course, and so I imagine while growing up, you see other people going through these stages and you hear from other people going through these stages, whether it's your cousins or someone from your family, they talk openly about it, right? So, and you just end up knowing. But in India, it's not the case. It's like you are blind. You just don't. Nobody teaches you about love. In fact, it's just not even seen in a good way. So it's just like getting into a blind date. Most people here get into blind marriages. They don't even know anything that deep about another person, but they just like get married so soon, immediately. Like just knowing each other for 6 months or 12 months, that's it. So, of course, in those 6 months, 12 months of honeymoon period, you're just going to be having the best time of your life. You're just going to be passionately in love with each other. But once you cross this stage and move on to the next stages, it's actually going to be challenging because you are not ready for it. So that's when you have to be understanding of each other and respectful of each other and communicate a lot, because it's when you start getting to know the other person for real. So
And I have a point there. It's all about communication, it's all about understanding, but it's also about self work. Because I know a lot of people, and I have heard this term when they say, you knew me this way, and if you don't like me this way, well, it's your issue, right? Excuse me, that's very, I don't know how to say it respectfully, but that's very that's very bad.
Absolutely.
When you're with a couple, you have to admit that your way is not the only way. You have to be open to change and correct the misbehavior, let's call it that way, the misbehavior you have acquired over your years of life. We are not perfect. We are not going to be perfect either. But we have to be humble enough to say, this is wrong. Excuse me, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to do this to annoy you. I will start changing. I will change. I will be able to recognize this is wrong. I am able to recognize this is wrong, and I change.
Yeah.
Because you can communicate, but if the other person keeps repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing, it's a toxic cycle, and that's not okay. Not in marriage, not in just friendships, not like in any relationship.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And that's why I love this movie so much, because in a time and age where like just getting together with someone you love is a big thing, this movie talked about the challenges after you get together, right? And that's incredibly important, because it's very vital to know what to do or what will happen after getting married, after loving someone for so long. And I think that's why this will like stand out as one of the best movies for a long time. So going on to the third movie, it's the latest movie out of all three. So it released in 2015. Oh, it's called Okay Kanmani. It was also like released in Hindi, Bollywood as well. I think Okay Jano or something like that. I'm not sure. But I obviously saw the Tamil movie.
Of course.
And in this movie, it was a crazy one, because the couple that's in question here, they are in love, of course.
Yes.
They don't get married, but they live with each other. So it's like a live-in relationship, right? Without being married in India. Can you imagine?
So hard. That's so hard. We have friends who had a very hard time finding a flat. What do you call it? An apartment. Finding an apartment because they were asking for the marriage certificate. I'm thinking it, you're thinking it, but we cannot say it. It's backwards.
Absolutely. And I mean, we were talking about love, honor killings, people separating because of the family, of the culture, the traditions. And I'm just happy that these kind of things like living together, live-in relationships are even talked about right now. I know it sounds so bad to just say that.
No, but you're right. It's open to talk about it.
Yeah, at least the conversation is happening now, and more people that we know are doing it. So it's great, because look, you love someone, you want to live with them, you're so young, you don't want to get married, you're not ready for it. Marriage is not the only destination. There's so many other ways of living with someone and thriving with them. Don't you agree?
Of course. I think in Colombia, despite being a non-religious country, it's heavily Catholic, Christian in general. It's a heavily Christian country, and there was a lot of judgment and bias towards people who were living together without being married. In my generation, it's not like that because we are a different generation. In my parents' generation, you could still see some bias and judgment from elder people. But even before that, it was unthinkable because it's living in sin in the Christian church. And it's so hard. I don't know. Like, honestly,
Sorry, continue,
yes,
continue.
in my point of view, it's none of our business. If you want to live with someone, you can live with someone. How is it that you can live with friends, but you cannot live with your partner? That's none of your business. That's not my business, not your business, anybody's business. If they have the money, they respect each other, they're not messing with anyone else. I don't know what happens in the movie, but I feel it will make me angry at some
It's
point.
like nobody's business. Two individuals doing what they want to do. Who the hell are you, right? Yeah, like, I mean, of course, if someone wants to come and rent out your apartment and they're an unmarried couple, what are they going to do to your house? I don't understand. What's going to happen to you or to your house or to anybody? Nothing, right? Nothing. And one thing that I love about Colombia, as you were talking about it, I just remembered, in Colombia, you can be considered a couple, a real couple, by just staying with each other for 2 years. You don't have to be married, but just staying together for 2 years will technically make you a partner. So that's incredibly good because, look, you live with someone for a long time, and of course, many people get married because of the benefits that you get, right, from the certificate. But in this case, you don't need to get married because you're recognized, because you're in love with someone, you're living with that someone, and you have proof. So you're technically considered to be married, right? So that thing I really love about it. Like, you've gone like so far to have that in your system, but we're still here talking about like not renting out apartments to couples who are not married. So it's like so crazy. Come on, we have to change.
Yeah. So what happens in the movie? They kill them. No, don't tell me they kill them.
No. No, everything is good. They don't end up dead or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all the 3 movies that we have for today. So what do you think about all the 3 of them, everything that we talked about today? I know it's like a short video, but we talked about so many important aspects of love that's wild, that's unimaginable for a Westerner or for anybody outside of India. So what are the thoughts that are going on in your mind?
No, I think definitely it relates a lot with telenovelas for me, as an example, on how they shape love. Because let's take this example. What is, before getting to know me, before getting married, before having so many difficult conversations and situations that were very challenging, what was your expectation of a wife?
Of course, you only know what you see, what you hear from all the time that you've been here on this planet. So the movies, the TV series you watch, it's all going to influence you, and the couples that are around you, what they do, the difficulties they face. These are all the examples, the only examples you know, unless you start watching some wider range of TV, like English movies or Hollywood or from other countries, and then you get a wider worldview, right? So, but until then, you just know what's happening around you and you think that's normal.
So, for example, here, I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying what I have seen, a big quantity of women as wives have a very submissive role, and that's what you get. And you imagine, okay, is this, you don't plan to think about those things until you're actually in an intercultural relationship. And I tell you, okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, this is not my job. Excuse me, this is not okay. Or you expect me to do something and I don't do it, and you're like, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening? Did I do something wrong?
Wives
What?
are supposed to do this, husbands are supposed to do this, but are we? Are we actually supposed to do something as husbands and wives? That is what I have come to a conclusion, and it's because we are shaped by our environment, and it's our job to decide what stays and what is transformed.
Absolutely. It's all, it doesn't matter how the people around you are. I know it definitely affects, but you are the one that's going to take the final decision, right? So just don't fall into the same hole again and
pattern.
again and again. Yeah, pattern sounds better than a hole, but yeah, the idea is the same, right? So just be the change that you want to see around you, and be the inspiration that you want to see around you. So yeah, just love and respect. That's
And
it.
let others love and respect.
Exactly. That's the most important. You don't have to love. Like, if that's not your thing, totally fine. But just don't meddle with anyone else's business. Just don't ruin other people's life because you are uncomfortable with someone being in love. It's like so
I'm
crazy.
not a Hindu, but if you do that, you'll get karma. I'm not even a Hindu, but I know karma exists.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to mess with things like that.
Absolutely. Just live and let live.
Absolutely. So thank you. It's very interesting. It's a very good, interesting topic. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at Masala of Cultures. Also check out our website, masalaofcultures.com. And let's see what else comes in the next videos. We're happy to be
Yeah.
here.
Thank you so much.
Nandri,
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.